You ever watch a room full of people decide a man's fate before he even opens his mouth? That's exactly how it started. Jury dead-faced, prosecutor eager, the defendant just a statue in shackles. And me, sitting close enough to count the veins in the old man's hands, already sure how this was going to end. Or so I thought. You know what I mean? If you were there that day, you'd have felt it too, the tension in the air, sharp enough to cut your breath in half. This man claimed he could kill up to 800 yards. The prosecutor started, calm as you please. Didn't even pause. No defense, no lawyer fighting for the accused. Just this retired Marine, Daniel Riggs, staring dead ahead like the world had already let him down and he was finally done being surprised about it. 66 years old, scar on his jaw, eyes that didn't flinch, not even when the gallery whispered about the guy from the bomb station. PTSD, threats, violence, they threw every word at him but mercy. He wore it all like an old coat, heavy, faded, already forgotten. Let me back up a sec, set the scene. The courtroom was small, old red bricks, benches polished smooth by worry and time. It was so quiet you could hear the ceiling fan, even when the judge swept in, robes flaring, face unreadable. I'd been that clerk for 6 years, seen everything from shoplifters to shattered families. But that day felt different, like something was brewing under the surface. Daniel walked in shackled, wrists chained his waist, the bailiff guiding him with that practiced indifference that comes from seeing too many stories in the same way. No family showed up, no character witnesses, not even a friendly face in the crowd. He looked like a man who'd stopped expecting rescue a long time ago. The prosecutor painted the whole incident at the gas station like a play called it minor, but disturbing. Said Daniel had threatened a stranger with that 800-yard line. No scope needed. No weapon, no raised voice, but the words hit hard because they came from someone who'd been trained to mean it. The jury shifted, a few nodding, others just wanted to be anywhere else. The only thing missing was a smoking gun and a villain's mustache. And through it all, Daniel just sat there, unmoving, like he'd decided his own silence was stronger than any plea. That's what caught meth kind of calm that doesn't come from arrogance, but from having nothing left to prove. Phones buzzed around the room, a reporter tapping away near the back, locals gawking out of boredom. To everyone else, it was just another old soldier with a chip on his shoulder. But right before the verdict, when the jury left, when the judge was about to bring down the hammer, everything shifted. The back door opened, slow and quiet, and in stepped a man whose presence made the air itself stand still. For stars on his shoulders, uniform crisp enough to slice bread, posture that said he'd seen command and wasn't impressed by much. General Wyatt, not just another brass hat, either came with another man in tow, civilian, maybe 50, but eyes sharp, haunted. Together, they walked down the aisle, and the hush that fell over the courtroom felt almost sacred. The judge tried to keep control. "General, may I ask your business?" she said, voice a little shaky now. He saluted, all protocol, then looked straight at Daniel Riggs. "I'm here for that man." Gunnery Sergeant Daniel Riggs, retired. 31 years ago, he saved my life outside Fallujah. We were surrounded, outnumbered, and ready to die. He took out 12 enemy fighters with nothing but patience and a rifle. No medals, no speeches, he just disappeared after the dust settled. He paused, looking around the room like he dared anyone to challenge him. Then Wyatt did something no one expected. He introduced the man beside him. "This is Matthew Dunley. He was there at the gas station that day." Suddenly, everyone leaned in, even the bored jurors. Matthew cleared his throat. "Yeah, I was there. I saw everything. That kid who accused Daniel, he was the one who started it. Shoved Daniel, called him a psycho, tried to pick a fight. That whole 800-yard threat came out of the kid's mouth, mocking Daniel. Riggs didn't do a thing, just walked away. You could feel the room tilt, everyone realizing the script had just flipped. The general handed over security footage from the gas station, the store manager's sworn affidavit, Matthew's revised testimony. Video rolled, grainy but clear, showing exactly what Matthew described. Daniel standing calm, kid getting aggressive, Daniel turning his back and leaving without a word. The prosecutor tried to find his footing, but the rug was gone. The case, the entire story had just unraveled. But General Wyatt wasn't finished. He looked the jury in the eye. You want to know what restraint looks like? It's sitting right there. You see a threat because you see the uniform and the scars, but you don't see the man who gave up everything so others could come home. And then, in a move I swear I'll never forget, Wyatt dropped to one knee beside Daniel. Not in defeat, but in honor. "I'm sorry," he said, "for every sidewalk you were ignored on, for every day no one listened." And suddenly, this room that had been so eager to judge went quiet enough to hear a heartbreak. For the first time, Daniel moved, reached out, rested his hand on Wyatt's shoulder. Not forgiveness, not even gratitude, just recognition, a silent thank you that meant more than words. The judge took it all in then, her voice softer than I'd ever heard. "In light of new evidence, all charges are dismissed. And on behalf of this court, I apologize for the failure of due process." The bailiff undid Daniel's chain, the sound ringing in the silence. He stood, not triumphant, just finally unburdened. When he walked out, every juror stood with him. On the steps outside, dozens of veterans waited, some with medals, most with scars you couldn't see, saluting in perfect silence as Daniel passed. No cameras, no speeches, just a long line of respect that didn't need explanation. And you know what? That's when it hit me. All those weeks I'd spent thinking Daniel Riggs was just another file in a never-ending stack. I'd missed what mattered. Sometimes heroes aren't loud. Sometimes they don't fight back with words. Sometimes the loudest anthem is silence, the kind you earn when you've already given more than most will ever understand. Daniel didn't look back, didn't wave, just nodded once to the veterans who came to meet him, then walked on. Wyatt fell in beside him, then Matthew, and before I knew it, half a dozen others joined their quiet parade. For the first time, I didn't feel like a clerk, just a witness to something wholly, a reminder that justice isn't about paperwork or punishment, but about finally seeing someone for who they really are. So here's my ask. For anyone listening, what would you have done? Would you have looked deeper or just accepted the story handed to you? What does justice mean when the system almost gets it wrong? Drop your thoughts below. Where's the line between danger and dignity, between silence and strength? Let's talk. Because if we stop sharing these stories, history stays silent forever.